Hello, I'm Craig Brailsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with the executives of two public companies. First up is Therapies. Therapies is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company pioneering innovative treatments for osteosarcoma, or OS, HER2-positive cancers, and other solid tumors. With a focus on addressing unmet needs in pediatric and young adult oncology, the company's lead candidate, OST-HER2, is a groundbreaking immunotherapy that has shown statistically significant improvements in 12-month event-free survival for recurrent, fully resected metastatic OS. OST-HER2 leverages a bioengineered Listeria monocytogenes strain to activate targeted immune responses, offering hope in an area where no new FDA-approved treatments have emerged in more than 40 years. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Up next is Calidi Biotherapeutics. Calidi Biotherapeutics is a clinical stage immuno-oncology company with proprietary technology designed to arm the immune system to fight cancer. Calidi's novel stem cell-based platforms utilize potent allogeneic stem cells capable of carrying payloads of oncolytic viruses for use in multiple oncology indications, among them high-grade gliomas and solid tumors. Calidi's clinical stage, off-the-shelf, universal cell-based delivery platforms are designed to protect, amplify, and potentiate oncolytic viruses, leading to enhanced efficacy and improved patient safety. Calidi's preclinical, off-the-shelf, enveloped virotherapies are designed to target disseminated solid tumors. This dual approach can potentially treat or even prevent metastatic disease. Calidi Biotherapeutics is headquartered in San Diego, California. We'll learn more when we speak with the CFO later in the show. Before we dive into our first interview, let's take a moment to recognize some of RedChip's top performers in 2024. Among them, RedCat, RCAT, up an incredible 1,293% in 2024. Alliance Entertainment, soaring by 842%. Gorilla Technology, which gained 250%. And Nova Minerals, up 149%. These companies have demonstrated the immense potential of the small cap market. Looking ahead to 2025, RedChip has also unveiled its top 25 small cap stocks to watch. This curated list includes names such as Venue Holding, VENU on the New York Stock Exchange American, and Trinity Biotech, TRIB on the NASDAQ. To learn more about why these and other exciting small cap stocks made it onto our 2025 list, visit redchip.com and download the full report. Now, before we move forward, let's take a look at RedChat, a revolutionary AI chatbot for small cap stock analysis.
For 32 years, RedChip has been discovering tomorrow's blue chips today with early research on Starbucks, Celsius, Daktronics, Winnebago, and more. Now we bring you RedChat, an innovative AI solution which gives you answers in seconds on over 2,000 small cap stocks listed on the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. Visit redchip.com today and use RedChat, your AI small cap assistant. RedChat.
Now, let's move on to our quote of the week. It comes from the book, Small Stocks, Big Money. The single most important way we attempt to manage risk in any environment is by seeking to buy stocks very cheaply. We never want to pay too much. This quote comes from Bill Hench of the Royce Funds, and it is featured in Chapter 3 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now let's get started with our first interview today with OS Therapies. Hello, today we have Paul Romness, the CEO of OS Therapies. OS Therapies recently went public and now trades on the New York Stock Exchange American under the ticker symbol OSTX. Paul, welcome back.
Thank you. Great to see you, Craig.
Great to see you too, Paul. Congratulations on your positive results from your Phase 2B OST-HER2 trial, including the statistically significant improvement in 12-month event-free survival. How will this great news impact your regulatory strategy, Paul, and of course your plans for FDA engagement?
Craig, we're really excited. We look forward to going to the FDA probably end of the first quarter, beginning somewhere in the first half of the year. The FDA knows we're coming. They're very excited about the potential for a first new treatment in osteosarcoma in over 40 years. And this is really for the patients and their families.
Paul, the tunable ADC platform is a major advancement in targeted cancer therapy. How does your proprietary silicone linker technology differentiate from existing treatments, and what are its implications for ovarian, lung, and pancreatic cancers?
So the tunable ADC technology is a little further back in the pipeline, Greg, but it's really exciting because what we're doing in our IP, our special sauce, is that we're wrapping the payload with silicone and then attaching that payload to the construct, which I call kind of a micro cruise missile with that silicone. The beauty of silicone is it's not water or protein soluble, which would break down in your body. It's pH sensitive, so we can dial in the pH sensitivity. Turns out the cancer environment has a lower pH, higher acidity. We can dial in that acidity, that pH level, which eats away at the silicone, drops the payload exactly where we want it, and then lets that payload go active at that point. If you think about a cytotoxin cruising through your body, it's like a mover moving a piano, knocking the walls. We're dropping that payload right where we need it and then making it active.
That's a great way to make that science accessible to the common investor, Paul. Congratulations on that. How large are the market opportunities for OST-HER2 in osteosarcoma and, of course, the therapies you currently have in development?
So the market is very small for osteosarcoma, but HER2 cancers, solid tumor cancers, are huge. We see the market for OST-HER2 and osteosarcoma around $500 million. But if we move into other solid tumors, which we plan to do, adding OST-HER2 to standard of care, trastuzumab or Herceptin, in breast cancer, esophageal cancer, colorectal cancer, other cancers, this could be a huge indication, huge market share, exponential to the 500 million on osteosarcoma.
Now, Paul, how does the OST-HER2 Phase 2B data, which is showing improved survival trends and potential for a rare pediatric disease priority review voucher, position the therapy as a breakthrough in recurrent, fully resected lung metastatic osteosarcoma?
So the priority review voucher is a construct of Congress. It was supposed to be reauthorized at the end of this past year. We anticipate and hope it will be reauthorized between now and when we get approved. But if it doesn't, we are grandfathered into the system. The priority review voucher is to encourage companies like ours to do research in rare and pediatric diseases. And this osteosarcoma, which is a very deadly pediatric, young, adolescent, young adult bone cancer, we qualified for that with the rare and pediatric disease designation back in November of 2021. So we're grandfathered in. The value of those priority review vouchers, and I describe it as kind of like Clear or Global Access. It's a government-sponsored cutting in line. What we can do is sell that priority review voucher to a larger pharma company or biotech company that can then cut 4 months out of their review process at the FDA. And there's a significant advantage for them to do that because, one, they're getting to market first or earlier. They're starting their growth of their sales, and it's getting to patients sooner, which is really important. priority review vouchers historically have gone for about $100 million. The last one just sold for $150 million. Until Congress reauthorizes this, that number will continue to grow.
Now, Paul, following this phase 2B success for OST-HER2, what are the next regulatory milestones and timelines that investors should be focusing on?
So we're going to go to the FDA with this data and with some improved comparator data. And we hope to do that at the end of this quarter, beginning of next quarter. That's what we call either a breakthrough designation meeting or a type C meeting. With the feedback from the FDA, we would then apply for conditional approval with our event-free survival. And then when the 3-year overall survival comes in, we anticipate in about a year and a half that we would get full approval. But the FDA is really excited that we're coming to them with this technology.
Paul, it's a cliche, but it bears repeating. Management is critical to the success of any company, and especially a smaller cap biotech company. Who are some of the key leaders driving OS Therapies' clinical and regulatory progress?
Yeah, well, we're fortunate, Craig, to have the founding scientists for both of our platform technologies, the OST-HER2 and Dr. Robert Pettit, and then he's our Chief Medical and Scientific Officer, critical to this program. He's been working on this program for over 12 years. The folks that invented this technology at the University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Yvonne Patterson, Dr. Nicole Mason, have been working on this technology for over 15 years. We also have, as an advisor, one of the founding scientists for our OST TADC program, Dr. Uta Varner. And then, obviously, I've got my chief business officer, Craig Commissian, who has really helped us with the IPO and with the negotiations around Wall Street, and my chief financial officer, Chris Acevedo, and our chief of staff, Jack Dahl. And I am, unfortunately, a very, very seasoned veteran of the industry. As I say, startups are no country for old men, but we've had some really good success so far. This is a trial that people said couldn't get done, and the patients and the parents and the families have really supported us, and we're glad to support them.
And now, Paul, a personal question for you. Your career could have gone in any number of directions. Why did you choose to focus on osteosarcoma?
Craig, as you know, this is my life's mission. My daughter's best friend, Olivia, was diagnosed in February of 2017. I always tell the end of the story to remove the suspense, but she's doing great. She is on our board of directors as Emerita, and she just on Friday got accepted to UCLA Med School. But unfortunately, a lot of these kids don't survive. It's a survival rate of only about 50%. So this is what we have to do. And getting this trial done was a huge accomplishment, but we're really just getting started.
Wow, Paul, what a story. And I can only imagine how much today's breakthrough must mean to you personally. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, finally, the essential value proposition, Paul. Why should investors take an interest in OS Therapies right now?
Well, typical biotech investments are a very long-term investment, 5 to 8 years. We'll know from the FDA in the next 8 to 12 months of our approval, our conditional approval. We also have conditional approval from the USDA on our canine indication. As we mentioned earlier, there are only 1,000 kids a year in the United States, 20,000 kids globally that get osteosarcoma, bone cancer. But just in the United States, 30 to 40,000 dogs a year get bone cancer, osteosarcoma. Number one disease killer of dogs, number two after automobiles. And there is no treatment for dogs that get osteosarcoma. The standard of care right now is very expensive, and pretty much every dog that gets osteosarcoma is dead within a year of getting diagnosed. As you may know, I have a bunch of dogs, and those of us that have dogs, they're really part of our family, and we need to get that treatment out to dogs as well. We look to out-license that in the very near future, and we're looking to partner commercially for the human osteosarcoma globally, just to make sure that from an unmet medical need, patients around the world get this treatment, because There has been no treatment in 40 years. And if you recur, which we're trying to prevent with our therapy, it's very, very bad survival rates.
Paul, congratulations again, and thank you for sharing your amazing story with us.
Thank you, Craig.
Now, to get more information on OS Therapies, visit ostxinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like OS Therapies. Now let's move on to our next interview today with Calidi Biotherapeutics. Hello, today we have Andrew Jackson, CFO of Calidi Biotherapeutics, trading on the New York Stock Exchange American under the ticker CLDI. Andrew, welcome back.
Great, thanks for having me again.
Calidi specializes in oncolytic virotherapy. Can you briefly explain what oncolytic virotherapy is and how it differs from traditional cancer treatments?
Sure. So oncolytic viruses are basically viruses that have been engineered to attack and kill cancer. We call our solution more than just oncolytic therapy, though. It's more like anti-tumor virotherapy because it does more than just attack and kill the cancer cell. It also activates an anti-tumor immune response, kind of like a vaccine, from the body's own immune system against the tumor, which then results in a more durable outcome. So additionally, the immune system keeps that memory and is then trained to attack those types of tumors in the future. And then really what separates us from other companies doing something similar is that we have a protective approach to the virotherapy in the form of a human cell envelope for our systemic administration platform and a stem cell for our intratumoral solid tumor platforms. Both provide protection from the body's immune system during administration, allowing the full viral payload to reach the tumor and perform its designated function.
Calidi's pipeline includes several innovative platforms such as NeuroNova, Supernova, and RTNova. Can you provide an overview of these platforms, Andrew, and their unique advantages in cancer therapy?
Sure. Let me start with RTNova, which is our systemic platform. So during the manufacturing process, we envelop a vaccinia virus with a human cell membrane called an extracellular enveloped virus. This membrane has natural human receptors that A, offer protection from the body's immune system, and B, home in on tumor cells. Because of the small form factor, this can be administered through the blood with an injection. And our animal studies have shown that the virus targets multiple different tumors, even at distant locations. The target indications for this platform are metastatic solid tumors and also lung cancer. Our Supernova platform consists of a vaccinia virus loaded into an allogeneic adipose-derived stem cell. The target indications are advanced solid tumors, including head and neck, triple-negative breast, and soft tissue sarcoma. And we're targeting filing an IND for a company-sponsored phase 1 trial this quarter. And finally, our NeuroNova platform consists of an adenovirus loaded into an allogeneic neuronal stem cell. The target indication for this is high-grade glioma or brain cancer. We're in the middle of a one investigator-sponsored phase 1 trial at City of Hope right now for recurrent high-grade glioma, and we're dosing the 4th cohort out of 4 cohorts. So what that means is during this progression, we've had really good safety data from the first 3 cohorts.
Andrew, the FDA recently cleared the IND application for NeuroNova, also known as CLD 101. What upcoming milestones should investors be expecting from that program?
Yes, that's our other investigator-sponsored trial at Northwestern University, and that's for newly diagnosed high-grade glioma. And we expect the first dosing this quarter, so that'll be a great milestone. This will be our first trial with multiple doses to treat newly diagnosed high-grade glioma.
How large are the market opportunities for all your programs?
You know, there's various different reports, but we have solid data supporting a $10 billion US market for the indications that we're targeting with our 3 platforms. And many of these indications, especially metastatic diseases, sarcoma, and glioblastoma, have very low survival rates.
Andrew, Calidi has completed a few capital raises recently. Can you tell us a little about your financial position?
Sure. So in the fourth quarter of last year, we completed transactions that led to $14.6 million in gross proceeds. That's before deducting expenses. The proceeds were mainly from public offerings and use of our ATM facility. In addition, in January of this year, we raised another $4.25 million in gross proceeds from a public offering. We also paid off or converted to equity $4.5 million in debt in 2024. So this has really positioned us to focus on our operations and execute on achieving these milestones on our roadmap.
Andrew, in summary, what's the essential value proposition? Why should investors take an interest in Calidi right now?
Well, we're positioning ourselves well to be the first truly systemic anti-tumor virotherapy designed to target distant tumors, kill them, and then train the immune system to generate a vaccination or durable response against the cancer. The effectiveness of this approach of protecting the virus has been supported by a 26-patient safety study we did that had durable responses for several stage 4 cancer patients. Our balance sheet is now stronger than it's ever been, and we're positioned to hit several clinical and preclinical milestones in the short term and throughout 2025.
Thanks, Andrew, for being with us today.
Great, thank you.
Now, to get more information on Calidi Biotherapeutics, visit CLDIinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RED-CHIP to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Calidi Biotherapeutics. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can order Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip's CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon for $18. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met OS Therapies, OSTX on the New York Stock Exchange American. OS Therapies is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company pioneering innovative treatments for osteosarcoma, or OS, HER2 positive cancers, and other solid tumors. With a focus on addressing unmet needs in pediatric and young adult oncology, the company's lead candidate, OST-HER2, is a groundbreaking immunotherapy that has shown statistically significant improvements in 12-month event-free survival for recurrent, fully resected metastatic OS. OST-HER2 leverages a bioengineered Listeria monocytogenes strain to activate targeted immune responses, offering hope in an area where no new FDA-approved treatments have emerged in more than 40 years. Learn more at www.ostxinfo.com. Then you met Calidi Biotherapeutics, CLDI, on the New York Stock Exchange American. Calidi Biotherapeutics is a clinical stage immuno-oncology company with proprietary technology designed to arm the immune system to fight cancer. Calidi's novel stem cell-based platforms are utilizing potent allogeneic stem cells capable of carrying payloads of oncolytic viruses for use in multiple oncology indications, among them high-grade gliomas and solid tumors. Calidi's clinical stage off-the-shelf universal cell-based delivery platforms are designed to protect, amplify, and potentiate oncolytic viruses, leading to enhanced efficacy and improved patient safety. Calidi's preclinical off-the-shelf enveloped virotherapies are designed to target disseminated solid tumors. This dual approach can potentially treat or even prevent metastatic disease. Calidi Biotherapeutics is headquartered in San Diego, California. Learn more at www.cldiinfo.com. Now, don't forget to check out our stocks page. It is the biggest small-cap stock portal in the industry, having every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with a market capitalization of $2 billion and less. And it's categorized by industries. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small-cap companies. Also, go to our website, sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-REDCHIP or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies. So please always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting emerging growth companies.